Continuing to cover the border crisis tonight, we're being joined by Wall Street Journal reporter Alicia Caldwell. She's joining me on the phone from Eagle Pass, Texas, I believe. Alicia, do you have us?
I do. Yeah, and I'm in Eagle Pass. Thanks for having me.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being with us. We're just going to show some of these aerial footage that we've gotten over the last couple of days of just the just influx of migrants who've really kind of made this makeshift refugee camp, if you will, under that overpass near the Del Rio sector. So give us a sense from your point of view, what have you seen today?
So I was in Ciudad Acuña, which is just across the river from Del Rio, and it's a lot of what we've seen before. You can't actually see the camp under the bridge that connects the two cities in the U.S. and Mexico, but you can see folks just kind of coming and going a little bit as they please, if you will. The numbers are down today from what I saw just from being at the river on Saturday, where it was people by the dozens climbing into the river at an underwater dam above the bridge. And now they've moved downriver about a mile and a half, and they're just crossing the river at a lower point in the river than other spots, and walking up onto the riverbank. And they're basically able to traverse between the camp and coming back into Ciudad Acuña for supplies, or sort of take out meals from charities and local restaurants. I saw, over the last several days, lots of people buying water, in some cases soda, and I'm told that some enterprising folks were actually reselling some supplies within the camp for those who could not cross back and forth. But the numbers have slowed today. It's hard to tell how many new arrivals there are versus people just sort of coming back and forth, as I said, for food and water primarily.
Yeah, and Alicia, can we kind of talk about the journey? A lot of these migrants, most of whom are Haitian. What exactly has the path they've taken looked like? And can you go into some of these deportation flights the Biden administration, along with DHS, are taking them back to Haiti? Isn't that right?
Sure. Yeah. About 1,000 people by now have landed in Haiti. And one important detail to know for your listeners or your viewers, a lot of these folks have not been in Haiti for several years. They left, in many cases, after the 2010 earthquake, amid economic downturns and other issues in Haiti. A lot of them are coming from Chile and Brazil. So for many of the people I've spoken to over the last several days, their trip started in Chile 3 months ago. By foot and bus and private car, a combination of all of those things over roughly 11 countries from South America into Mexico, they've made that trip. That trip includes the Darien Gap, which, if your viewers are not familiar, is a jungle so dense and dangerous that it's just not something that is ever recommended one cross between Colombia and Panama. It's dense, thick jungle. There are a number of natural and human-made dangers in there. So folks are coming up that land crossing, if you will, from South America into Mexico. And they've come to Del Rio in part because builders have told them this is where you go. Haitians before them have come here, and there's a degree of safety perceived in this region. It's a slightly, I shouldn't say slightly, it is a safer region than others, including the Rio Grande Valley, where most of the people crossing the border illegally in the last several years have traversed. It's the closest point, if you will, if you draw a straight line from Central America to the U.S. border. It's the Rio Grande Valley. And we're seeing a shift here to Del Rio, which is in South Texas, way up north of the Rio Grande Valley. In terms of deportation flights, there have been several over the last several days. They started on Sunday. The administration has returned about 1,000 people, and we're hearing from my colleagues on the ground in Haiti, those who are arriving often don't know until they've arrived that they were being returned to Haiti. So it's a surprise to them. As I said, many had not been in Haiti for several years. Most had not been in Haiti for several years. And it's a shock to them when they're told, welcome home to Haiti.
That's so stunning, because obviously we know what Haiti has gone through, especially this year with their recent earthquake and the assassination of their president. Because, to most Americans, I think, who are watching this, including myself, I have customarily thought that the primary, mode of entry for refugees and migrants to the United States is via boat from Haiti itself. And so that's a particular distinction now with this particular crisis. I just want to go into some of the other news that has unfolded over the last couple of hours, especially on the ground in Haiti as those deportation flights have landed. There's been kind of some scuffles on the tarmac in Port-au-Prince with these airplanes, with the staff, with diplomatic staff and CBP staff as well, who are trying to return these Haitians. Isn't that right? Have you seen any of that?
I've only seen what's on social media, to be candid. But, as a viewer, I suppose I would say it's probably not that surprising. Again, what's happening is, for a variety of reasons, folks are not told where they're going. And they land in Haiti, and there is a surprise. I've talked to people on the ground here, both in Del Rio and in Ciudad Acuña, who say, I didn't know what was happening, and all of a sudden, my friends were back in Haiti. And in some cases, people have decided to leave the camp in Del Rio and head back across the border into Ciudad Acuña. I spoke to some folks today who were bound for Mexico City on a bus from Ciudad Acuña, saying they could not risk the potential of being sent back to Haiti. It was not a place they had been, again, in several years. It was not a risk they were willing to take for themselves and their families, so they were going to go back into the interior of Mexico. Wow. In other cases, it should be known, because there is such a volume of people, there are people who are released with notices to appear back in immigration court, right? In one case, I saw a woman, a mother with a young child with an ankle bracelet attached. So she's going to have to report back to immigration authorities at her final destination. Those folks at the Del Rio Respite Center were as surprised as anybody that they were released versus other people who were not. Obviously, again, 1,000 or so people have been sent back to Haiti. Mexico is also now stepping up repatriation flights and moving folks from the border region here in Ciudad Acuña further into Mexico and then staging repatriation flights from there. So there's a lot going on, a lot of pieces of the puzzle. And the big issue, I guess, right now is the camp is slowly shrinking.
Okay.
Both with removals to other border stations across Texas, removals to Haiti, people leaving of their own volition, and then those few who are being processed out and who will be allowed to apply for asylum or other protections in the U.S.
I see. Let's take it back, though, to Washington from the policy angle side of this. DHS Secretary Mayorkas went down there yesterday to see it for himself. Do you think anything came of that visit? We also know Governor Greg Abbott speaking out quite vehemently today. We're going to show our viewers his roundtable and press conference after we speak with you. But what is the administration's plan for this?
I think you're seeing it unfold in live time, right? They increased removal flights. They had stopped removal flights after the earthquake in August. And then when things were deemed stable, they resumed those flights. Not a tremendous volume, but they were removing people under the public health law, Title 42, which basically is not an immigration law. It's a public health law.
Right.
It allows for immigration authorities to quickly expel anyone who has crossed the border without authorization, crossed the river illegally. So they had been doing those. They've stepped those up dramatically. A dozen, half dozen or so flights over the last several days, almost 1,000 people. That is a dramatic ramp up. So you're seeing that live. And they are moving people out to other border stations to process them. I'm told by the Department of Homeland Security, just because somebody's moved out of that camp to a different location and processed in a different border location, be it a processing tent or a physical building, does not mean that they won't be sent back to Haiti under Title 42 or face a variety of, other immigration procedures or be allowed to proceed into the U.S. with a notice to appear, back at court at a later date, and then a judge would decide their fate.
And Alicia, thank you so much for your time. I just want to ask one question, too, because there's been so much back and forth about this. And that is this issue that we've seen generate a lot of attention on social media about agents from Customs and Border Protection on horseback, kind of trying to wrangle some of these migrants and stop them from crossing. We've seen a lot of the rhetoric go back and forth. You know, did they use whips? Was it the horses' reins? Vice President Harris commented on that today. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki commented on it yesterday about the humane or inhumane treatment of these migrants. Do you have anything that you want to add on that? Anything to clarify? Because there's been a lot of confusion.
Right. So, you know, I was not there, so let's start with that. But I have seen the video. I have seen the still photos. It appears in the photos and the video the horse-mounted Border Patrol agents were using those horses to wrangle people, using those long reins in a variety of ways. I can't say definitively exactly what happened. Like I said, I wasn't there. But the pictures tell a story. And
totally.
From what I understand, you know, those agents are now being investigated, agents, excuse me. Those agents are now being investigated and are off the line for the moment. When I was down in Ciudad Acuña today, I did not see any horse-mounted patrols. What I did see was a line of vehicles: Border Patrol, Texas Department of Public Safety, Texas National Guard, along with the accompanying officers and agents and troops with those vehicles. But no one was stopping migrants today. And again, the flow had slowed discernibly from Saturday. But what happened on Sunday, I'll let the photos speak for themselves. As I said, you know, the Department of Homeland Security is investigating. The Secretary has made his comments that he's incredibly concerned. I don't know that I can't quote him because I don't have a statement in front of me, but there is grave concern about what happened. And again, the video and the audio and the photos, I'll let your audience digest and make a call. But they are what they are. They show what they show.
All right. Alicia Caldwell with the Wall Street Journal has been doing some just excellent reporting. We thank you for your time.